Hello and welcome, Leon Street here, and I wanted to talk to you about this number, $51,000 a year. Yeah, it's actually the average annual income for a specific group of business owners, and those business owners I want to share with you. This is the average coach's annual income, and this was discovered in the 2016 ICF Global Coaching Study after they surveyed 15,380 valid responses from 137 different countries. Now you're probably thinking, well, what does that mean? Well, if you're a coach, if you're a consultant, you probably fit into this bracket. And if you're like me, you want to earn more than $51,000. And if this is the average, there are actually people who earn less than the average. And the ones that earn more are generally in the smaller minority. So what does that mean for you? Well, it means a number of things. First of all, I want to show you a graph off the back of this survey just so we can put these numbers into context and then give you a reason as to why things need to change, especially if you fit into this average and if you want to grow out of the average. You see, the majority of people who are earning this $51,000 average annual income fit into the 31 to the 60 year age range. Now, what does that mean? Well, generally, if you're like me, from the age of 31 onwards, you've probably been a parent, you probably have owned a house or you rented a house, you have commitments, you have bills, you have expectations of family, you probably want to go on holidays, you probably want to eat out every now and again. That $51,000 doesn't really stretch that far. So if you're a coach, and as I said, and you're looking to grow your business, or you're actually looking to get more back out of your business and go beyond the $51,000, obviously something needs to change, because $51,000 is not going to serve you in the type of life I imagine, which is the reason why you went into business, to change things. Because here's one thing that I realize about business. We don't just go into business because we've got this amazing, kind of epiphany moment or light bulb moment. We go into business because actually what we're seeking is the freedom to explore our purpose. We're seeking the freedom to explore where our skills can take us, because we believe we can help somebody else. We can give back in some way, providing a service and helping somebody else with what you do. I'm sure that's why you're a coach right now. But with all of these challenges and with the average annual income at $51,000, really, how far is your message going to reach? How far are you really going to help people beyond maybe your near circle? The near actions, the near places that you can actually spread your message might be networking, a bit of social media here and there. Not very far. So what can you do to change that? Well, I want to introduce you to a famous guy, Napoleon Hill. And you may have heard of him as the author of Think and Grow Rich. But there's a special concept that he came up with, and the concept is the Mastermind Principle. See, Napoleon Hill said this: no mind is complete by itself. It needs contact and association with other minds to grow and expand. With other minds to grow and expand. The proper use of a mastermind group is the cornerstone to all great achievement. So, and it is one of the steps that people most often overlook. So I want to take that, just one step further. So what do we mean by that? Or what does Napoleon Hill mean by that? Well, it's simple. On our own, we can only ever have, as it says, a limited amount of experience. And a mastermind group allows us to draw freely from that experience, with which it includes training, skills, and knowledge of others who align with our definite major purpose. And this is a big thing. Because when we're in business and when things aren't going well, and let's say we are earning the average $51,000 a year, we try and put on the S on our chest, whether we're a male or female, and we become superwoman or superman. We try and do it alone, go it alone, figure it out. And actually what happens is we don't have all the answers because we're skilled at a specific area in our business. We're not all accountants, we're not all solicitors, we're not all the people who create the product or service or the deliverer. Yeah, we have our key skill areas. And if your average annual income as a coach is only $51,000, what are you going to do to change that? Because there's only a specific key area that is going to influence your business, and that will come in the shape of marketing. But there's a step before we get into marketing. How can we collapse time? How can we save you time so that you can actually make those changes? You can move from the $51,000 a year, because if that's the average income, the average annual income. And if that's where you are right now, obviously something needs to change. And I'm sure you're not in business just to earn that. You actually want to go for 100,000, 200,000, and wherever, you know, your aspirations and commitments and actions will take you, whether that's 7 figures and beyond, like some of my clients, that's definitely something that is possible. So collapsing time. What I mean by collapsing time is how can you learn the necessary skills to accelerate your journey and move you closer towards the results of getting beyond the 51,000. Yeah, here's how these guys do it. So the number of famous people on the screen right now: Oprah Winfrey with Maya Angelou. We have here Bill Gates with Warren Buffett. We've got a favorite of mine, athlete, Anthony Joshua, with his trainer, Rob McCracken. We've also got Steve Jobs, who was the mentor of a famous guy who runs Facebook. Yeah, but there is a commonality with all of these people: Michael Jordan and his coach, Phil Jackson. You see, every one of these people is either the student or the coach. And the reason why Mark Zuckerberg chose to have Steve Jobs as his mentor and coach, the reason why we've got here Usain Bolt with Glenn Mills chose to have Glenn Mills as his coach, and the reason why Serena Williams chose Anthony Robbins is because they wanted to collapse time. And what I mean by that is they wanted the necessary skills from somebody who had the experience in the area where they wanted to improve in their life or business in order to grow. You see, these people recognize that actually, if you're going to grow, you're going to need more than your own mind. Yeah, which is where the Mastermind Principle comes into place, but it's even more accelerated when you have a coach. And that's what all of these famous people have done. You see, they recognize that actually they need help, because we can't all put the S on our chest, but what we can do is put it on when we have the right team or support around us. And so for me, one of the biggest things in growing your business is understanding that when you add the Mastermind Principle, which Napoleon Hill spoke about, with coaching, that's how you move yourself forward. So how does that change the 51,000 a year as an average income? How can that move you forward? Well, it's simple. You have to get the information you need from a marketing coach who can show you the way. You see, all of those famous people, they got a coach who could help them in specific areas, whether it was life, whether it was business, leadership, transformation, whatever they needed. Yeah. So if you want to change where you are in terms of 51,000 as your average annual income and go beyond it, smash it to multi-6 figure, to 7 figure, you're going to need somebody who can help you get those results. And that's what I want to show you. See, the thing is, the biggest thing that is going to help you get the results is marketing. Because the first step in any business is for people to come across your marketing message so that you have the opportunity to sell to them so that they can buy your coaching services or your courses. Without marketing, you have your message really stuck and it's not being spread and put out there in front of the right people. So what can you do? Well, what I've done, I've put together some training that I would love to invite you to experience. The training is called More Leads, More Clients, and I want to dig a bit deeper just to show you about that training. First of all, if you want to go and access the training right now and get stuck into it, you're welcome to do so. I've got 3 key things I am going to show you in a moment on the flip chart, so I'm actually going to take you through those points. But if you want to go and register for the webinar, More Leads, More Clients, go to leonstreet.com/invite. And when you go to that URL, pop your name and email in, choose the options you'd like. If you'd like to watch the training in advance or at a date that is more convenient to you, or you can choose to watch it immediately. So leonstreet.com/invite. Now what I'd like to do is take you through the 3 key areas that you will experience and find in this training. And one thing to bear in mind is that when you are on the training, make sure you've got a pen and paper, because there are actionable items that you will need to do so that you focus on growing your business. Even though I'm giving you the training, there are points and takeaways for you to action right now, immediately in your business. So let's get into this. The first secret that I share with you in the training is the new method of marketing. And it's the new method of marketing and selling coaching services that doesn't require you to have genius level marketing knowledge, a huge social media following, or having to build a huge email list. So let's get into it. What is secret 1? So secret 1 revolves around the methodology that I created after writing my #1 best-selling international book. And the book was called More Leads, More Clients, which is why I've called the training that. So I came up with this 7-step method, and the 7-step method starts off with step number one. And step number one is all about plan, which is what we've got here. And plan, in simple terms, is strategy. And strategy focuses on, if you can find a particular group of people with a problem that you can help them to solve, then that point is where you will find the people who can buy or in a position to potentially buy what you have for sale. And that group of people is generally referred to as a niche. If you're in America, it's called a niche. In the UK, we call it a niche. And the niche is important because the niche focuses on a small segment of a group of people. So you might go into a market, but what you've got to do is understand what is the niche, what is the small group of people that you can target. You see, a lot of the time when you're targeting your marketing message, people get stuck and hung up on, oh, I need to make sure I go for as many people as possible because they want to make sure their reach is big, which is great. But actually what happens is when you cast your net wide, you don't focus your attention on grabbing the core people who are going to be the best fit for you. So with a niche, what you need to do is focus on two key areas, which I'm going to share with you. The niche, you can split into things called, number one, the demographics. So I'll come to demographics first. Demographics are things like age. So pick an age range between 5 to 10 years. So you might choose 30 to 35. It could be 20 to 25. It could be 50 to 60. Choose an age range. Never go beyond 10 years just because you want to keep it as tight as possible. So with demographics, go into the attributes of what make up your particular niche. It could be gender. Are you targeting women? Are you targeting men? Is it location dependent? Are you targeting people in your city, in your region, in your country? You might then focus on different things like what is their personal annual income? Yeah. So what level of income do you want to target with the kind of people you want to be your clients? What is the revenue that their business generates? So if you're offering business to business services, maybe one of the demographics that you really need to have in there is what is the revenue that that company generates in order to be in a position to actually work with you as a business to business service provider, like a business coach. And then there are going to be other things that you can really dig into. What are their interests? What kind of books have they read? I showed you a moment ago, Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. And so the more you get into understanding what are the demographics, what are the kind of logical attributes to your target audience, the more you're going to really get to understand them. But that's step one. Step two is then, we have here the psychographics. And the psychographics are this. They are the reasons why somebody will buy from you. So when we get into the reasons why are the emotions. So you can start off with the psychographics. What is it that this particular niche fear the most? What is it that keeps them up at night with the problem that you can help them solve? What is it that are the symptoms of that main problem? So identifying, so as an example, if you had the flu, some of the symptoms would be a sore throat, runny nose, achy joints, a cough, temperature. So what are the symptoms to the main problem that you help that particular niche or can help that particular niche solve? But you have to list all of these things in the psychographics. Yeah. So what is it that they fear? Yeah, so what is it that they fear around not having that problem fixed? And the more you dig into the reasons why a person will eventually buy from you, you complete the true understanding of what a niche is. Now, obviously I've only gone into the kind of the surface layer, but when you go on to the training, which I showed you the link for, we're going to dig into this even deeper with the actual demographics and psychographics that you can list and work on your business immediately. So that's secret one that we'll cover in the training. Secret number two, which I'll get into now, so secret number two is all about how to make your competition irrelevant and never worry about generating leads, even if you don't consider yourself a marketing expert. So secret number 2 is very simple. So when you get onto the training, you'll see it's simple, but it's really powerful. What you're looking for is how do you grab the attention of that niche that you've identified? So you know the niche, you know the people you want to market to, but how do you now grab the attention? You do that using this special formula here. And this formula here, EBM, it's very simple, but a lot of people don't do it. It's called education-based marketing. So rather than trying to promote your services and products, what you do is educate that niche around the topic that you can help them to solve. So if they've got a problem with, as an example, marketing or sales or business strategy, then you would educate that niche around those key areas. If you were a life coach and you help people who are experiencing challenges in their life right now around mindset or just, getting by in life, or even, trying to accelerate where they are in their career or life, you would then educate them. See, the thing is, people don't like to be sold to, but they like to buy. And the way that you help people to buy is to provide education-based marketing, something that adds value, even just like this video right now. So if you're learning something, I'm educating you by providing education-based marketing to give value first. This is a really important step that you need to look at. The next thing is, once you're providing education-based marketing, you need to create something called a client getting system. Yeah, you may have heard of things like funnels. That's what a client getting system is. Once you are providing great content, you need to funnel people, and I'll put this on here, so that you can get them to convert. And the conversions will come by having a clearly defined funnel, which will allow somebody to gain access to some of this education-based marketing that you're promoting. It might be through a PDF guide, it might be through a webinar, a video sales letter. These are the types of funnels that are usually put in place by coaches. But this is where you really start to focus on getting clients and converting them from a lead to a client. This is so important, and this is what we dig into in secret number 2 on the webinar. So what I want to discuss with you is the final step in what you'll learn when you go onto this webinar training. So secret 3. Secret 3 is all about the exact traffic strategy we use to create multi-six-figure months in sales. Plus, I'll even show you the current ads that are working. So when you go onto the training, I show you behind the scenes, but what I'm going to do right now is just focus on what is it about the exact traffic strategy that we use. Well, it's pretty simple. You need to understand what are the traffic sources that you know where you'll find your niche, and in particular, where does your niche hang out? So are your niche on Facebook? Are they on LinkedIn? Are they on Google or YouTube? This is one of the key things that you need to understand. And when you go into the training, I break down the different areas of how you can generate leads right now as a coach. Because once you've done that niche research, you should understand where do they hang out. Because it might even be that you're targeting people that do hang out at networking events or even specified kind of niche events, yeah, because that's possible. It doesn't mean that everybody has to be online, but with online, you do have the opportunity to leverage your reach and actually reach and impact more people. So what is it about these traffic strategies? Well, once you understand where people hang out, this is where you can then start to use story angles, because you've identified your niche, you understand exactly what it is, either that they have as symptoms to the main problem that you can help them fix as a coach. Now what you can do is start to use different angles, and the different angles can be things like the symptoms leading up to the problem. So if I can spell that right, let's go again. So symptoms, and then after the symptoms, what you can start to do is look at what are the different interests that people may have around that problem that they're experiencing that you can help them to fix. It might be statistics as an angle. It might be a story. It could be a case study. So some of these are ways that you can use story angles once you understand where you can attract people from in terms of your traffic sources in order to pique their interest. And this is really important because people don't just respond just to one angle or one message. What you've got to understand and get to is when you run traffic to these audiences, whether you're marketing online, is really understanding what do they respond to. Because everybody's so different, they won't respond to just one thing, and that's obviously your job to test, and that's what you'll get on the training. So guys, if you found this useful and you believe this is something that can actually help you grow your coaching business and move from that $51,000 average annual income per year, then I'd love for you to join me on my training. Just go to leonstreet.com/invite. On the training, we break down those 3 areas. There is actionable content that you will need a pen and paper. And so that way you can watch the training and then implement immediately afterwards. I look forward to training you on this training. More leads, more clients. I'm Leon Street, the lead generation coach, helping you to go to the next level. Thank you for watching.